Hello MouseWorks fans, and welcome to another edition of MouseWorks News, modeling news around the world. And for this week, a few different things. Let me grab my blotter here and see what news is actually going on. All right, so looks like the IPMS Nationals is coming up this week out in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go. Gotta figure out what I'm going to do about a car. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. But if you see any news there, I got a couple people out there putting their eyes on stuff, trying to give me reports. But if you see something interesting, just let me know. If you can't make it yourself, it's a great show. But I understand because it is very tough and very expensive to get out to some of these shows. So next year is in, I believe it's in Texas. And I thought it was supposed to be El Paso, which unfortunately, as of this reporting, there was a shooting down there, so I really feel sorry for the people of El Paso, and hearts go out to them. So hopefully that will be a distant memory by next year. And getting to the Chattanooga show, there's a couple announcements. Edward has announced they're going to release a 48 scale P51, yet another model of it, but it'll be a new mold and be even more accurate, and I'm sure it'll come with lots of little extras from Edward. And it's going to actually be of the markings, the Chattanooga Choo Choo P51, and I believe they're going to try to get it out and released and available for purchase at the Chattanooga show. You think? Anyways, hopefully it'll be there and look real nice. At least if they don't have the kit, hopefully they'll have some test shots. Next up is going to be our segment on future kit releases, so stay tuned. Hello MouseWorks fans, and welcome to another edition of future kit releases. And got quite a little list here, so that's why I got my little granny glasses here so I can actually see my notes. So getting started, it looks like Tacom is releasing a 1/35 scale Russian CWIS anti-aircraft battery that goes shipboard, and sometimes it might, if it's like the American ones, it might be held on a flatbed trailer. So that'll be kind of interesting. But it's interesting they're doing this subject. It's kind of off the beaten path, especially in 35th scale. Next, Tacom is also coming out with a 1/35th scale Jagdtiger. What's interesting about this one, it's a new series that I'm not sure what they're calling it, but it's going to be a cheaper series. And rumor has it that this kit is actually going to be around the $30 to $35 mark. For a Jagdtiger in 35th, that's pretty good. It's going to be simplified, real easy to build. Might be good for youngsters and modelers that are just getting into the hobby, don't have the big bucks, and want something really nice and easy to build. So next, you may have heard, the big news is Tamiya. Of course, everything out of Tamiya is big news. But they are coming out with a 1/48 scale P38 Lightning, an early version. New tool. Should be really nice. They might do little tricks like having magnetic engine panels, things like that, which they've done on some of the 109s and some of their other current releases. So that's making quite a buzz lately. Hopefully they'll have some test shots or something to look at the National. Next up, Hobby Boss is doing a 1/35th scale King Tiger 1945 production with no Zimmerit. They're just going to work this mold, I think, to death. The Trumpeter and Hobby Boss molds are just, it's great because they're going to do every conceivable version that you can imagine of the King Tiger and Tiger. So we'll see how that looks. The next one, Mini Art is doing a TACAM or TACAM T60 Romanian anti-tank vehicle. This is something different, especially being Romanian. Looks a little different. Uses some of their pieces off their T60 molds, so it's just a natural progression. So interesting that they're doing that. Might have heard on one of my earlier reports that Revell is doing a 1/32 scale 262A1 single seater. Finally got some pictures of it. Hopefully you'll see them somewhere around here. And That one actually looks real good. It's going to be the same kit, which is very nice, but with the conversion for the single seat. Don't know if it'll come with any. It shows the picture shows rockets. I don't know if it'll come with some of the other ones, like the X1s, some of those funky experimental rockets that they were using on the 262, but we'll see. And there may or may not be a picture of this, but I'll have to give some eye candy just for fun. But in Japan, it is being released as we speak. If you're into Japanese anime, and you probably have heard of Miko Hatsune, the Vocaloid computer-generated singing sensation that's taken the world. And then there's also a character called Supersonico, and if you know her, you know what she's known for. So they're taking a combination of the two and making a Miko Hatsune Sonico figurine, and it looks really pretty awesome with all the big hair, big blue hair and everything, but it's really pricey. But I just thought I'd show you that. Hopefully I got a picture up there. So that just about does it for future kit releases, and up next is new kit review. All right, MouseWorks fans, as promised in my Christmas in July quickie episode about what I got from Japan, what I decided to show is the Tamiya Leon AMG kit. And so let's get a sneak peek at this kit. And box art is absolutely beautiful. That's what really sold me on it. The car is beautiful and the box art is just awesome. And decals are by Cartograph, says right there, which is the usual. Cartograph makes great stuff. Same picture on the side. And then this side has a little certificate holographic little emblem for the race team and AMG, Mercedes. And it shows you the front view, the side view, and back view. And then another little holographic thing there. I feel so special. And the top of the car. One thing that did surprise me when I first ordered this, the picture was kind of bad, and I did not see that there is actually, thought this was all black on the hood, but as you can see, there's actually a little gray diagram that goes on here, kind of like a blueprint. So that's going to be kind of neat. One interesting thing to note off the subject of the model is you can see the cover for the headlights is yellow. This used to be a color for GT2 cars. That way when they're racing, if a car comes up on the back end of your car and it's not yellow, it's one of the GT1 classes or one of the LMP cars, and you have to let them pass. What's interesting is the last races I saw, the Le Mans of 2019, they don't do that anymore. So they don't have any issues of people getting mad because you won't let them pass. I don't know exactly how they're doing, if there's an indicator in the car or how that works, but they don't use these yellow covers. So this is about the last series of vehicles that's going to have those yellow covers. So just a little simple note, and let's get on to the kit. Alrighty, I am ready to start the review. Sorry about the pad here. It's got a little bit of paint on it because I've been doing some work on my Rolls-Royce armored vehicle, painting some wood, and hopefully I have a video on how to do that with oil paints. Okay, the first thing that they give you, which is kind of interesting, is Tamiya has put this tech tips page in there about how to clip the pieces off of the sprues, how to make holes, how to use glue, handle chrome parts, spray paint. Very handy. I mean, it's just kind of neat that they do this because they know that there's going to be some people that are still learning this kind of stuff. So, very interesting. And what's interesting about Tamiya, which I'm beginning to really appreciate, you know, they don't do a whole lot of releases like some other companies, but they're very personal about it. They make sure that it's first class, things are clean, things are neat. They want you to know that they're handled by their employees. One thing that's interesting is on all the bags, they're stapled instead of being sealed by heat. That's a trademark of Tamiya. I'm not sure why they do that instead of heat sealing it. I'm sure heat sealing would be easier and cheaper. But this, every time you unstaple, when you think about who stapled it and that there was somebody actually looking at your kit and taking care of your kit and hand packing it. So very interesting stuff. Anyways, that was side note. Okay, so they give you a black and white little background information here, both in English and Japanese, and talks about the vehicle and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, next, just the regular sheet on warnings and safety. Okay, instructions. Black and white. They have the paint list here. One thing that's interesting on the paint is it's actually the real vehicle, and a lot of these cars now, for whatever reason, I guess for filming, are coming out in a semi-gloss paint job, not glossy anymore. So they have you actually paint a gloss black and then do a semi-gloss clear over it. Probably a little easier than doing a semi-gloss black, but if you don't want to do a clear coat, you do semi-gloss black. Anyways, talking about their tools and so forth down here. Okay, so they've got basic information on putting together all the front brakes and everything. There is no engine detail in here since you have a full pan. There's no need to. I'm sure someone will come out with some kits on how to update some of the stuff. They got lots of different colors if you want to do it. They even have decals on the brake rotors. Really cool. They have lots of decals that are carbon fiber and so forth. If they go around a corner, look up on some of the YouTube videos. There'll be videos on how to heat the decal and get it to conform with a hairdryer. So that's a kind of a neat little trick. So they tell you what to pre-paint and so forth. They tell you to paint the inside of the vehicle so that way you don't see anything through the windows. That's kind of nice. The chrome plating, they tell you how to treat it real nice. They give you window masks, which a lot of companies don't do. You do have to cut them out yourself. They would be nice if they're pre-cut, but they at least give them to you so you don't have to worry about that. So you're doing the black surround seal on the windshields. They also give you a pattern to do the screening for all the intakes and all the air ducting. Wheels and tires, the rims actually come black. Tell you to do it in black or semi-gloss black, but what would be really neat is to do them like the real car, which is a black chrome. And I just found out that Alclad came out with a black chrome paint for airbrushing. So what you do is you paint it black and then hit the black chrome, and it gives you that very interesting anodized look to it. So just a side note again. You are almost already done in this point. And then it gets into putting on some of the rams here and some of the fiddly bits on the end. And then it gives you a decal placement here. Doesn't give you a color sheet, which is too bad, but you can use the box for that. That gives you plenty of stuff. So lots of placement. So it's a lot of planning you're going to have to do on the markings. How to place them, where to place them, and how to do that. So moving right along. Decals. Very, very nice. I mean, you can see the colors are beautiful. They're on register. Very hard to print fluorescent. Hopefully it's coming out on the camera, but that's fluorescent red. Very difficult to make that work, so they have made it work. What's interesting is the pattern I was talking about earlier is actually gray. Hopefully it'll show up on that black. On the picture it shows it almost a light gray, but this is almost a dark gray. So we'll have to see, maybe experiment with one of the smaller decals, see how that works out. Alright, and in the decal bag is a few other goodies. Alright, there's the screening there, and some little extra decals. These are the actual foil decals. They're kind of, there we go, better picture there. They're actually real chrome plating foil for the Mercedes logo and the rear view mirrors. So that's really, really cool. I really like that. And tire decals. On rubber tires, that's kind of difficult. I'm sure somebody's mastered that with trying to put some type of clear coat on there, but putting them right on the rubber and not doing anything, they'll just peel right off. So check that out on somebody's page. There's the masks for the windshields, front and back. Very nice. We've made out of Tamiya tape, which is that kabuki tape. Paper tape, which is great because it's when you put it down, you'll know it's sealed when it turns to a dark yellow. You'll actually be able to see if you've got an issue with it. So anyways, There's those staples again. Keeps everything. They actually stapled the side, so this wouldn't move around in there and get anything scratched. Very awesome. Very, very good. Okay, getting to the car. First rack here. This is the chassis panel I was talking about, where it covers up everything, so you don't have to worry about the engine detail. Your spoilers. Gives you the left-hand drive. I'm sure there's a right-hand drive, but the real car had left-hand drive, so I don't know if they'll ever do that. Anyways, there's those rims that you can do in the black chrome. Shock absorbers, I wish some of the American companies would come out with ones like this. They're actually a coil that's not just a lump of plastic. It's a coil and looks like it's around the actual shock body. Some slide molding going on there for some of the buckets for the headlights. Very cool. No flash as usual. And this is one of the parts that's really interesting. A lot of the Fujimi kits, they give you different pieces to build something like that. It's very hard to build it straight. With their slide molding technology, one piece. Awesome. Very cool. Roll cage system here. Some of the air ducting systems, and then the rear fascia there. All right. Chrome parts. Very nicely chromed. No skipping anywhere. A lot of this, I would like to use the chrome buckets for the lights, but for the grill, I actually might strip it and then use a alclad chrome on it to make it look more scale, or Molotow chrome through an airbrush, which will actually make it look almost like this even. So, but it'll make a little more scale, a little less toyish reflection. All right, next one is, this is the cabin. That's the bottom of it where the transmission goes, the inside of the doors. The radiator grill, very detailed. It's going to be nice to actually do a wash on that to get all that detail out. Suspension, exhaust pipes, they did a little slide molding, so they're hollow on the end. And there's the bucket seat there. Could use some seat harnesses. Alrighty, next is the body itself. Very well done. There is some mold marks that'll have to be taken out. It's going to be kind of hard to mark them with a pen to try to figure out where they are and sand them down, so you'll just have to be kind of careful of trying to find out where those marks are. So anyways, really well molded. There are some swirl marks, but it doesn't seem like they're three-dimensional on there. Nice deep panel lines, and then all this is all cut out, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about putting that in or building that. Same with the venting over the front wheel brakes. So very nice. And then even has detail coming down and around, which they used to not do. They, you know, without slide molding, they could never do that before. All right, glass. Water clear, super reflective. I mean, just awesome. To me, always does a good job on the chrome and the glass. So very nice little bubble headlights systems there. They do actually have an edge to them to show the lip, the gasket, so that way it'll be a little easier. So if you glue it and you paint it over it, you can, if you goof up a little bit, it'll cover it up. Really nice on the glass. All right, and lastly is the tires. Basic issue tires, vinyl, rubber, whatever they call it. Anyways, like I said, trying to decal them. There are companies out there that make them pre-printed. Kind of expensive, but it saves you a lot of time. And some of the little black polycaps there. So that's, can't have a Tamiya kit without polycaps. So that's about it for the review. I really like this kit. It's looking like it's going to build up really nice. I think I might just build it out of the box, not hassle with any fancy things except for the paint job itself. I don't see any problems with it, except for those decals are going to be pretty complicated to put on. So it'd be nice if Tamiya actually had a video showing somebody actually build these and decal them. That would be really cool if Tamiya actually had something like that. So anyways, that's about it for the new kit review. Alright, welcome to Model Techniques. Basically, this is going to be a quick one, but I finally found it, believe it or not. I've been looking for this stuff for a long time, and it's so simple. Basically, what I was trying to do is trying to find black cotton, and nobody has black cotton or batting that I could find. Was going to try dyeing it, but that would be kind of beyond the point because I don't think it would fluff back up. But I found this stuff. This is Black Craft Fluff. And what it is it's kind of a nylon type batting material. And what I wanted this for is, in a lot of tanks and a lot of vehicles, you have grills and radiators that there's no detail underneath. They make a great effort to make them real detailed and have open grills, but they won't have anything underneath them. Now, you can paint the interior black, but of course when you go to a model show or something, they're going to put their pen light down there and they see there's nothing there. Shouldn't count against you, but it just looks kind of funny. You can blank them off, but then it kind of looks like, why did they make the effort to actually have the grills and stuff open? Same with the open top type vehicle, or what they call vehicles with invisible interiors. So what this is to do is you can actually take this stuff and stretch it out and pack it in underneath those grills and so forth, and it will darken it when you look into it. And then if you actually use a pen light on it, this will absorb the pen light, so you actually won't see but into the darkness. So there'll just be nothing there, nothing to see basically. And unfortunately, some of the vehicles have such big hatches that if you leave the hatch open, in the IPMS rules, a lot of times they think that's a vehicle with visible interior, and then of course you didn't do any detail on it, so you get dinged for it. So anyways, if you put the stuff inside the turret or whatever underneath the hatch, again, you blank it off so there's no visible interior, and it can go in a regular classification. So but anyways, that's what I'm bought this stuff for. It's going to be a lifetime supply, and just a little technique there that might help you out in building for competition, or just building to make something look nice. You can also make flames with it, so it looks like burned out vehicle stuff. So anyways, there you go. Hello MouseWorks fans, and welcome to the section of the show called New Tool. So basically this is to highlight different tools and so forth that I found that help you in your modeling. And this is actually, some people may not consider it a tool, but it is a tool, and it is basically this, a reference book. A very awesome, very heavy, 2-inch thick, 600 odd page reference book. Let me take a look and see how many pages we've got in here. It actually is 688 pages of MIG goodness. So there's a lot of books out there with reference, but this is the quintessential series, all Russian aircraft. But basically they did a MiG-29 book before. This is now a revised edition with the MiG-35. The reason this is a new tool is because anything you could possibly want to build your model is in here. I love books like this. Unfortunately, you'll never find them online to view like in a PDF format because there's so many pages. But basically they go from the prototype, test models, their missiles. They got super clear pictures of their missiles, so you can figure out how to paint yours or what missiles it was taking. Goes into the different types of aircraft, super close-up views of the engine detail. So if you want to detail it out, this will do it. It's kind of like a walk around. How the system works, that's what's really important. As you're trying to learn about the aircraft and see why, why does it have this little scanner here or this vent here. This will tell you everything. All kinds of different choices of paint jobs. Again, interior pictures. There's the whole radar system from multiple views. You just have to put this on a desk to read it, because you put it on your lap, you'll crush your legs. Profiles, color profiles, drawings, dimensions, engine details. I mean, there's all kinds of books out there that do details like this, and they're very expensive. These, for what you get, are relatively inexpensive. Retail is about 65 bucks. You can find it on Amazon for about 45 bucks. They do a whole series of these, like I said, just Russian aircraft. Wish they'd do others. But Yefim Gordon, who writes these, he has just got the data. So here's one picture. Metal skin, completely devoid of paint. So if you ever want to do a really cool skinned one, there you go. And then, I mean, it shows them in every weather condition. So if you're kind of trying to figure out what's going on with what they look like, different versions, naval versions. This has a few more versions, more photographs than the last book. Last book was almost that thick. Again, pictures skinless when they did some of the speed tests. Awesome, awesome reference. Colors are dead on too. Getting into some of the different versions. I'll quickly go past some of these. Double seaters, the SMTs, but yeah, I mean, books. Some people think books are a thing of the past. The internet is great. Trying to find pictures of certain things, it's great. I use it too for reference. If I need a quick reference of something I've never seen, you can probably find it on the internet. But something like this is invaluable. I mean, like I said, you won't find this on the internet. You might find some of the pictures, but the data that's in here is incredible. Then they go into the different countries of operation, so forth. Even the U.S., who has some Moldovan ones. Yeah, they don't have any really. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, different countries. And then in the back, they actually give you a, I don't want to say a flight log, but basically what happened to the different serial numbers of the different aircraft. Pretty complete of most of the aircraft, but they'll tell you what service it was, whether it crashed, whether it was scrapped, what actually happened to it, lost in combat, and so forth. So anyways, recommended highly, highly, highly. I might have covered this on another video, but got this in today. The Creasy took over from the other company, and Ian Allen, and they're just keeping up the tradition. It's awesome. New and revised. They're supposed to do a Su-27 next, and I'm hoping they'll do some of the other aircraft that they've missed. The Flogger, Su-25, that would be a great book. If you find the one that's on the MiG-21, it's about twice this thick, believe it or not, because there's so much information. Anyways, that is actually one of the best tools to own, is good reference. So thanks for watching, and as always, I appreciate your support. And I've got the MouseWorks website at mauswrx.com, and I've got different tools and stuff that I sell. These are the sanders, and some of the prop wash, which is a anti-static wash for doing models right before you paint them. That way you don't get any hairs in them. But I always appreciate the support. Let me know on the channel below here what you think, and be sure to subscribe, because I'm coming out with these all the time, and hit the bell so it reminds you that I've got a new video coming out. So thanks for watching, and appreciate it.